Lots of times people ask me, how do you defend a drunk driving case? There's a couple things that I do very commonly in drunk driving cases. And past few years, when I fight them, I beat them 2/3 of the time or a little more. So I have a track record of employing these things and them actually working. First of all, what police typically do in an OUI case, a trial, is they will point out all the things that my client did that maybe were slightly unusual. And they will say, my client did these things because they were drunk. And what I typically would do is I will go through the entire facts, how my client drove, how they pulled over, how they reacted to the officer, whether they were able to produce the license and registration fine. And I will point out all the things that my client did correctly. And usually there are many things that my client did correctly, which involved them using some judgment, them using their mental faculties, and them doing physical tasks which indicated that they were not impaired. Lots of times my client pulled over fine, they were able to produce their license and registration without a problem, they were able to get out of the car fine. Then we get to the field sobriety tests, which are very common in these cases. What the police will do is they will say the client did, and they'll list a bunch of things the client did wrong, and therefore they think my client was impaired. There are many ways to go after that. Oftentimes I find the police make mistakes when they're administering field sobriety tests. Also, many of my clients simply are not candidates for these field sobriety tests. They may, because of age or physical problems or anxiety, simply not be able to do these tests under any circumstances. And also, often the circumstances under which my client did these tests, it may be late at night, they may be very tired, they may be at the side of the road freaked out, are conditions under which you couldn't have expected them to perform perfectly or normally. So there are many ways to beat a drunk driving case.